For me, it's simple. ACE takes kids out of failing schools and eventually graduates 90% of these kids, and the cycle is ended.
ACE is picking children up from difficult situations and getting them headed in the right direction.
The program speaks for itself when you see it in action.
It opened my eyes. It was so impressive. And I walked out of that school and I said, you know, this is the organization I want to be a part of.
When I learned about the opportunities to help these underprivileged children, I got very involved in it.
Undeniably, ACE works. You just look at the numbers. If you're a low-income inner-city kid, your chances of graduating are just greater than 50%. We're taking those kids, and they're graduating at a great rate of 90% plus each year. What we find with our students is that they're not just graduating, they're prepared for college. And then after college, they're prepared for life.
The difference that ACE has made in their lives can't even be measured. I mean, it's the difference between success and failure.
It is possible to get a good quality education. It is possible to live in a school where you can be inspired and protected and nurtured.
ACE is got sort of the secret sauce, because if you create competition in the education field, people innovate, they perform better, they develop better products and services, and ACE is basically providing that energy.
What's impressed me so much about ACE kids is they're going on to college. They're graduating from college and they're coming back. They're giving back. And that is probably the most impressive part about seeing these kids go through the cycle.
And that has a ripple effect positively through the greater community.
And that's what makes ACE so great, because it stewards the next generation.
With that hope that they get from ACE, they're going to pass on this legacy of empowerment, and we can build on that.
If ACE is successful, our entire community is going to be successful.
We help kids get a great education, and in turn, we prepare them for life.
I still remember two of the most influential role models in my life, and they were both high school teachers. And I realized that those two teachers in high school had given me the gifts of special attention, special coaching on maybe what I could achieve if I worked harder, worked extra, kept some dreams alive. So for me, that's this sort of dynamic, intangible that ACE often contributes to. Not just the reading and writing and learning, but the magic.
For all the good that ACE does, there are still deserving kids that get turned away from ACE scholarships because of lack of funding.
We still have thousands of families that are stuck in schools that are non-performing schools, and we hear from these families all the time. They're calling us up and they're saying, can you please help us, because we're desperate to get our kids to a great school.
Kids and families from their neighborhoods are choosing to go elsewhere, voting with their feet and their lives.
There are several thousand kids that are looking for an ACE scholarship. The barrier to being able to help out those students, honestly, is writing a check.
The more money that we give, the more children we can put under scholarship. The more children we can put under scholarship, the greater impact we have on this community, on the state as a whole.
As people get exposed to the success rate and the amount of return you can get on this kind of investment, just think of the number of families we could affect in the next 10 years.
I would submit now that the problem, the lack of quality alternatives for so many of our kids, is not an act of charity, it's an act of citizenship. It's not about someone else's kids anymore, because your kids and my kids are not going to be able to grow up and have their kids in a healthy, sustainable community unless we fix this problem.
I think the key is we just don't have time to wait. Take them out of this cycle today.
And that's what ACE does. We want every kid to have access to a great education, and until that happens, we're not going to stop.